Estelle Getty was born on July 25, 1923, in New York City, New York. As a child, her father would take her and her family to the Academy of Music Opera House every Friday as sort of a family night out. It was these events where Estelle decided that she wanted to pursue an acting career. But Estelle found that quite difficult starting out. So after graduating from Seward Park High School, she took up a job as a secretary in order to have a steady income while attending auditions. One day while attending a party, Estelle met Arthur Getty, and the two hit it off, where 9 months later, they got married on December 21st, 1947. They had 2 sons and would stay married until Arthur passed away in 2004. But during that time, Estelle kept working and pursuing her talent career until finally, in 1981, at almost 60 years of age, she landed a breakthrough role when she was starred as Mrs. Beckhoff in the Broadway plays Torch Song Trilogy. She played the part for 4 years, receiving widespread praise that eventually got her noticed by WITT Thomas Harris Production. And in 1985, that's where she landed her role of a lifetime, when she played Sophia Petrillo in the classic sitcom The Golden Girls. She would play the role until 1995 with 7 seasons of The Golden Girls, 1 season of The Golden Palace, as well as character appearances on shows such as Blossom, Nurses, and Empty Nest. But besides TV, Estelle would make a breakthrough in movie as well, with her most popular being Mannequin and Stop, or My Mom Will Shoot. Estelle continued to act until 2001, where she would retire due to her health conditions with dementia. Unfortunately, the dementia took its toll on July 22, 2008, where Estelle Getty passed away at her Los Angeles home. Yet still to this day, her legacy lives on in the many non-aging reruns of America's favorite sitcom. Estelle Getty is buried at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Los Angeles, California. She was 84 years old. Bernice Frankel was born on May 13, 1922 in Brooklyn, New York. The second of 3 children, the family moved to Cambridge, Maryland, where Bea attended school until she was 16, where her parents decided to send her to Lititz, Pennsylvania, where she attended the Lillian Hall School for Girls, her last 2 years of high school. After graduating, she attended a year of college before enlisting in the U.S. Marine Corps Women's Reserves in 1943 during World War II. After completing basic, she served as a typist, truck driver, and dispatcher until she was honorably discharged in 1945, receiving the rank of Staff Sergeant. After serving, she studied at the Franklin School of Science and Arts in Philadelphia, where she became a licensed medical tech before moving to New York in 1947, where she began pursuing acting. She also married fellow Marine Robert Allen Arthur, and it's here where she started going by the name Beatrice Arthur, or B for short. From there, B would land Broadway roles in many places. But in 1966, she auditioned for the lead role in the Broadway musical Mame, but lost it to Angela Lansbury, to which B ended up accepting the supporting role, Vera Charles. Her Vera Charles role won her a Tony Award that year, which she will reprise in the 1974 version of the film, which tanked at the box office. Also during the 70s, B started getting into television, where in 1971, she guest starred on the classic sitcom All in the Family as Maude Finley. The CBS executives were so impressed with her performance that the following year, they would give B her own show titled Maude, a spin-off of her All in the Family character. Alright, rare Psycho Rick fun fact. Did you know that just like Maude was a spin-off of All in the Family, the sitcom Good Times was a spin-off of Maude due to Esther Rose Florida Evans' character? Well, now you know. Maude lasted for 6 seasons, with the show tackling many issues that were considered taboo and controversial back then, such as mental illness, women's rights, and abortion. But it was 1985 where Bea would land her most famous role when she was cast as Dorothy Spornak in the all-time classic The Golden Girls. She played the role until its conclusion in 1992, where she left to do other things, but reprised her Dorothy role in a 2-part episode of the shortly lived The Golden Palace. Afterwards, Bea continued to work in TVs and films, one memorable role being that of Femputer on the hit classic cartoon Futurama.
After lengthy femputations, I, Femputer, have decided the fate of the men. Femputer sentences them to death! By Snoo Snoo!
Yeah!
My favorite is when she hosted the 1991 American Comedy Awards with Jaleel White, where she did the Urkel dance. Outside of entertaining, Bea was huge with helping out the LGBT homeless youth by being a big part of the Ali Forney Center up until April 25th, 2009, where she sadly passed away after a long-fought battle with lung cancer. She was honored in Broadway among celebrities and had a Manhattan 18-bed resident named after her called the Bea Arthur Residence, which helps take in LGBT homeless youth. Bea Arthur was cremated, and her ashes were given to her family. She was 86 years old. Edie Rue McClanahan was born on February 21st, 1934 in Hilton, Oklahoma. Raised in Ardmore, Oklahoma, Rue was bit by the acting bug at an early age, where throughout school, she acted in school plays and theater. After graduating from high school, she attended the University of Tulsa, where she majored in both German and theater, earning her Bachelor of Arts degree, cum laude, and served as vice president of her Kappa Alpha Theta sorority. After college, she joined the acting studio in Manhattan, where she began acting off-Broadway until 1969, when she made her debut playing Sally Weber in the Broadway musical Jimmy Shine. A year later, she was cast as Caroline Johnson on the daytime soap opera Another World. She played the role until September of 1971, which got her notice, where she was then cast as Margaret Jordan in the short-lived soap opera Where the Heart Is. With both Broadway and television success, Rue McClanahan started transcending into comedy roles, where in 1972, she appeared on an episode of All in the Family, playing Ruthie Wimpley, a swinger wife where her and her husband tried to bed the bunkers.
Funny, it just has the opposite effect on me. A couple of belts and I'm raring to go.
Can have a few by all means.
Can I get you one?
I don't need it.
Oh, well, then I'll wait, too. Please, you don't smoke, you don't drink. What do you do for fun?
Following that episode, she was then cast as Vivian Cavender in the All in the Family spinoff, Maude. In 1983, she was cast as Aunt Fran in Mama's Family, where she played the role for 2 seasons before being killed off the show. But by that time, she would land her most famous role as Blanche Devereaux in the all-time classic, The Golden Girls. Her Blanche role would eventually earn her an Emmy Award in 1987, as well as a Golden Apple Award and 2 TV Land Awards. When the Golden Girls ended in 1992 and the Golden Palace lasted only a season, Rue McClanahan continued other work in TV and movies such as Take My Daughters Please, Annabelle's Wish, Starship Troopers, The Fighting Temptations, as well as TV shows such as Blue's Clues, Boy Meets World, and Hope and Faith. Her final acting role was on the show Sordid Lives, where she played Peggy Ingram, and in 2007, she released her autobiography, My 5 Husbands and the One That Got Away. Then, Rue McClanahan passed away due to a brain hemorrhage. As per her request, she was cremated and her ashes given to her family. She was 76 years old. Betty Marion White was born on January 17, 1922 in Oak Park, Illinois. Born during the Great Depression, her family moved to California in order to make a decent living. They would end up moving to Los Angeles, where Betty attended school in Beverly Hills, graduating in 1939. During that time, Betty had 2 interests, wildlife and writing. It was said that she wanted to be a forest ranger at first, but couldn't accomplish this due to women not being able to in that period. So she got into writing, where she wrote a play in school. This is what kick-started Betty White to pursue acting. After graduating, she found work modeling and a couple of acting gigs until 1941, when she volunteered to drive military supplies to the Hollywood Hills PX when the U.S. entered World War II. After the war, she landed a few radio spots until she started co-hosting with Al Jarvis on the live variety show Hollywood on Television. And in 1952, she, George Tibbles, and Don Ferguson formed Bandy Production, which created the show Life with Elizabeth, for which she won an LA Emmy Award that same year. She would also host and produce her own show, The Betty White Show, for which she had complete creative control over. So in 1954, when the show moved to NBC, she hired Arthur Duncan as a regular cast member. This caused backlash with local southern stations who threatened to boycott if Betty White didn't fire Arthur, for at this time, Jim Crow was still in effect. Not only did Betty refuse to fire Arthur, she gave him more airtime. But by the end of the year, the show was canceled. During the 60s and 70s, though, Betty began to make many guest appearances on game shows such as Password, To Tell the Truth, I've Got a Secret, Match Game, and Pyramid. And in the mid-70s, she landed one of her most popular roles, playing the man-hungry Sue Ann Nivens in The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Then the 80s hit, and Betty White truly started making her mark as a female television legend. In 1983, she hosted a 4-month game show called Just Men, for which she won a Daytime Emmy Award, and guest starred in the Carol Burnett spinoff Mama's Family, playing Ellen Harper, a character that originated in the Carol Burnett show. It was also where she first met and worked with Rue McClanahan. But it wouldn't be the last time the two would work together, because in 1985, they were both cast in the all-time classic, The Golden Girls. Okay, another rare Psycho Rick fun fact. Did you know that at first, Betty White was cast as Blanche and Rue as Rose? But after a suggestion, they ended up switching the roles so people would compare Betty to her Sue Ann Nivens role as well as Rue McClanahan to her Vivian Capita role? Well, now you know. After the show ended in 1992, Betty would continue to play the Rose Nyland character in other shows such as Empty Nest, Nurses, and The Golden Palace. In 1986, she won an Emmy as well as a Golden Apple Award. She would then make more guest appearances on many shows, one particular being The John Larroquette Show, where she, Rue McClanahan, and Estelle Getty played themselves. In 1999, she starred in the movie Lake Placid and Bringing Down the House in 2003.
Just be quiet!
Wait just a second, my shoes. Mr. Sanderson, is everything okay? I thought I heard Negro.
In 2010, she starred in the TV Land sitcom Hot in Cleveland, and from 2012 to 2014, produced Betty White's Off Their Rockers, where the older generation played pranks on the new breed. In 2018, PBS made a documentary called Betty White, First Lady of Television, and the following year, she voice acted the character Bitey White in Toy Story 4, a character specifically made for her. In December, Betty had put out an announcement that her new documentary-style movie, Betty White: A Celebration, will be hitting theaters January 17th to commemorate her 100th birthday. And while America was preparing for such, sadly, it was announced on social media on New Year's Eve, January 31st, 2021, just 3 weeks away. Betty White had passed away peacefully. Tributes poured in from everyone, and the Hollywood star was flooded with flowers. When the news broke, it hit everybody. Because Betty White was truly a loved, wonderful, iconic legend. I make this video today not only to celebrate Betty White's 100th birthday, but to also celebrate the heavenly reunion of 4 of the most wonderful, entertaining groups of women to ever grace the TV screen. May all 4 of them rest in peace, and most of all, thank you for being a friend. I'm Psycho Rick saying until next time. Thanks for watching.